everybody, welcome back to another video tutorial. My name is Fotini. You're visiting me on Fotini Stampin' Spot. We have a challenge today to make an animal card. However, I realized I really don't have that many animal stamps. So what I did was I improvised. I'm going to make a butterfly. I know it's an insect or some sort of whatever category, but we're going to use some really pretty stamps and Thinlits. The butterfly Thinlits we're going to use, and the watercolor wings, and I'm going to show you how to do a 3-step stamping to get the butterfly colors. Oops, sorry about that. Bumped into the camera. Okay, so right there, you see those 3 colors there? I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'll show you how we're going to cut this on top. So the card itself is actually very easy. We're going to be using some of our ink colors. We have here pink powder. We're going to use that for our very first layer, our base layer. We have Berry Burst for our second layer. This is the second layer of the stamp. We're going to use Fresh Fig for our darker third layer of the stamp. And then we also have just basic black, which we're going to use for the body of the butterfly and our sentiment. So I have here cut and whisper white, just some scraps that we're going to do. Actually, we're going to make 2 cards super fast. I'm going to show you how easy it is. We're also going to need 2 by 5.5 inch of a designer series paper. I'm using the coordinating powder pink, and then I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet that I've cut in the middle at 4 1/4 and scored at 5.5. So this card is going to be either this way or it's going to open this way. Okay. The other thing that we're going to need is a piece of black cardstock, and I'll show you why. We're going to do that that top die to use that. We're going to also use some of these really cool black rhinestone jewels. They are in the new holiday catalog. They're really super shiny. I like the way they glitter onto the card. And we're also going to use 2 strips of Berry Burst, 1 for each card, and of course our regular adhesives and things. So first we're going to stamp, and when we're done stamping, we're going to cut out the butterfly, and we're going to run it through the Big Shot along with the black cardstock. I already have one cut out, but I'm going to show you how to easily cut it out and clean it. So why don't we get started with the stamping? So we're going to take the fullest of the 3 stamps, and we're going to ink that up and stamp that first down. So I've done it in 2 ways. I stamped off, or I've stamped full. I like the full strength better, so I'm going to stamp it full strength down on the one card. Don't rock it, just push. And then the other card. So if you're doing like a whole bunch of these cards, maybe for a swap, or if you want to make a whole bunch of cards of the same design, it's good to work in an assembly line mode. So get everything done from the one stamp and then move on to the next one. So if you don't have all these extra blocks like I do, and you only have maybe 1 block, obviously you want to you want to clean out your stamps before you put them away. So I have my Stampin' Scrub. Just cleaning that out. Now the stamp is ready to be put away. But because I have extra blocks, I'm able to kind of get myself ready to go for the next step. So Berry Burst is next. This stamp set has, I hope you guys can see that, these raised sides here. So that's going to give us a lot of dimension on the edges of our butterfly. Okay. Now the tricky part is getting it lined up, but the nice thing is we have these photopolymer stamps, and it kind of helps, but sometimes it can be a little tricky to line it up, especially if you're doing a video. So I don't know if that's 100%, but if it's not 100%, guess what? It's a handmade card. It's not perfect. Oh, that's not too bad. So do you see how it only stamped on the edges of the butterfly, nothing in the center? We'll do it again. Bring that in front here so I can actually see what I'm doing. And again, if it's not perfect, there's always another side of the card. You can always flip it over and do it again. See, like that's not perfect, but I don't mind. So we're done with this one now too. So let's close this up. Next, we're going to take the third layer, which has these dots up at the top, and we're going to put that in Fresh Fig, which is a bit darker. It's also going to give us the center color contrast. And you're going to think like, well, it's so close, it's not going to make really a contrast. Well, you'll see. That little bit of darkness actually does do the trick. Now you can play with these colors and layer them however you would like. See that? Let me bring that closer for you guys to see. See, there is a difference in the color. It is a bit darker, and sometimes that's all you need. And we'll do the second one. Okay. All right, so we got all that done. The last thing we have to stamp for our butterfly is the body. We're just going to use the archival black. We're going to get the body. Now my original one that I did, I added the little antenna, but then I realized when I went to cut it out that the antenna get cut off, so I'm not using it for this particular one now. Oh. Okay. Alrighty, so next thing we're going to do is cut out using our big shot. So I already have in here a piece of scrap black so that I have this detailed. I've done already one, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to do and how easy it is to clean it if you have a little tool that we have. So we're going to take this and we're going to put our butterfly. We're going to use the coordinating Thinlit, and I'm using my magnetic plate, so it gives a little bit of it holds on to this Thinlit a bit better. Okay, then I'm going to put my top plate and I'm going to run it through. Cracking is normal. Okay, and I'm going to run the second one through. And you're going to see how easy this is going to come together. So this just cut out nice and easy. And we're now just going to run the second one. And you'll see how fast we put these two cards together, and then that will go together with my third card that I already have made, and I'm going to eventually design a box to put them in so that I can give them as a gift to someone that I would love to give a little gift to. They're nice to give to teachers as little gifts for them, because they always get little things from students and parents, and they always need thank you cards. So the sentiment we're going to use is "You are so kind." So I think that would be nice to give. So we're done with that, and we're done with the big shot. So what I need to show you now is how we clean this. So sometimes this does not, because it's so detailed, does not cut all the way out, which happened earlier. So I'm actually seeing now that I don't think it's going to cut all the way out. So I'm going to run it one more time through. There is a precision base plate that you can use for more intricate dies, or you can just run it a couple more times through if you're really having a hard time with it. Okay, so it cuts out that. Now, leaving on the Thinlit, we have this really cute handy dandy tool. It's a bit of like, I don't know, like a foam of sorts, and this really cool brush. You can get this in our catalog, and it's just these really neat bristles, and all you do is run it back and forth over the Thinlit, and it punches out all these. It's great for this type of detail because it punches out all the little pieces. Now, if you don't have something like this, yes, you can just go and do it on your own and punch it out one by one, and they should come out. But look how easily it cleans that. You don't have to sit there and worry about each little piece. So now we're going to put our card together. Okay, let's get all of our pieces together here. So we have our 2 pieces of DSP, our 2 pieces of cardstock, our 2 butterflies, and our 2 overlays. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking some Tombow glue. I'm flipping over these butterflies, and I'm just going to go right down into the body of the butterfly. And the reason I'm using Tombow instead of like a snail is because I want to make sure that I can line them up easily. So we're going to just kind of go right there. And it gives me a second to maneuver it around. Okay. And we're not going to leave it completely flat. Obviously, when you give a card to somebody, it will get flattened, but doesn't it look just so pretty like that? So that's one. And then we'll take the other one. So did we really need to stamp that black body? No, probably not, but it does, because this does cover it completely. But if you didn't want to use the Thinlit on top and you wanted to stamp the butterfly, at least now you know how you're able to do it. And here we're just going to let this sit now so it can set. Now the rest of the card really comes together super fast. So we're going to take my snail, decide what side of your designer paper series you want to be the front. I want this to be the front, so I'm flipping it to the back. I'm going to put a strip at the top of each one. And the reason is I'm going to layer my ribbon, which is in Berry Burst. This ribbon is such nice quality. And I'm going to just bring it over and I'll cut off whatever is extra. It's always to have a little more than not to have enough. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm just running it right down the center. And then I'm going to run adhesive all along the back of these pieces so that I make sure, over the ribbon, so that I make sure the whole thing stays down. Got some on my table. And we're just going to take this and we're going to fold our card, and I'm going to take it a little more to the left. I'm going to line it up at the top. Bring that down. Same thing. Line it up at the top. Bring that down. Okay, so now we have our two cards. On the back of the butterflies, we're just going to put a little bit of dimensional. And I use my scrap dimensional, so I'm just going to snip a piece big enough to put it on the body of the butterfly. So don't throw away your edges of your dimensionals. They're still tacky and you still can use them. Peel off this backing. Did I get that? And I'm kind of putting it on an angle, like it's flying. And to make sure that it stays within the card, because of course you want it to fit in your envelope. Okay. So I'm pulling in the Berry Burst from our stamping. And now I want to do our sentiment, which is "You are so kind." And we're going to use that in archival black. And we're going to do it here near the bottom. And we're going to do one over here too. Okay. And then the very last piece that we're going to do is just to add a little something, because the black is by itself and it's just there with the sentiment. I'm going to take three, let me see if I can get these off even. 3 of these little dots, these rhinestones, and I'm going to put them along the side here. I'm sure there's an easy way to grab these, but and you can maneuver them a little bit. They do have adhesive along the back. There you go. One card is done. Let's do 3 more for the other one. My goodness, these are so tiny. Okay. I might have to get myself one of those little jewel stick pen type things. Okay. So there you go. We have 3 really pretty, simple cards that you can give as a set to anyone. And we can take our envelopes. Let me grab one. I'll take 3 envelopes. Stampin' Up! Has actually these, you can purchase through Stampin' Up! The Whisper White medium envelopes. I forget how many are in here. There's 40 in a pack. And they're great because they are perfect for this size of a card. And because it's always nice to kind of add you know, something that matches from your stamp. You can just do something as simple. Let me see what a little stamp here that we got. I'm going to just pull one out here and use it on one of my blocks. And I'm just going to add a little, just a little something. This is the first layer of a smaller butterfly. And I'm going to just, maybe we'll just do this powder pink. And I'm just going to stamp, and I'm actually going to stamp off, so I want to get a piece of scrap over here too. I just like the way the stamping off looks. Just put this underneath. And I'm just going to go down here to my bottom left, and I'm just going to, it ties in the card and the envelope. You could do it on the back, you could do it on the front. And there you have it. Just a nice little touch that you can do on all the envelopes. Especially if you're giving it as a gift, it would be such a nice touch. Okay. There you go. And that's our card for today. Super easy, really pretty, and what a nice way to use just one stamp set with this three-layered stamping. So hope you liked this video. It was a little bit longer because of the stamping technique, but I hope you learned something fun today, and I hope you go out and try it. If you'd like to know the items that I used in today's card, check down in the descriptions below. I'll have everything linked. There is a September code for a host code that I have for this month. That is also in the descriptions. Make sure you use that if you're checking out to on my online store. Using that code, I will know that you've placed an order, and I'll be able to send you a personalized little gift from me to you, just for gratitude of placing an order with me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and come back for other videos. So don't forget to click subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate it, and talk to you all soon. Thanks.